hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to?
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Shakaraki. And on Street Talk, we deal to political, social, and economic here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. Now, joining me tonight.
Paget Maynard.
All right, we got a lot to talk about, but I just want to mention we had so many of our blacks out here voting for Trump, and it reminded me of the post-traumatic slavery disorder, you know. And we've been here almost 600 years the second time, and still there's lots of us just haven't learned anything. And Malcolm X called it, in 1963, Malcolm X called it the mushroom theory, you know. And he said the mushroom theory was where they lock a bunch of us up in a dark room, feed us a lot of shit, and watch us grow. And I hate to say it, but that's what happened to lots of black people and Hispanics people in this election. I mean, they were just simply out of their mind, didn't know anything, and just went and voted for a man who is a criminal. You know, he's a criminal, don't know anything, but still they went out and voted for him because he's white. And we got the saying in the U.S., and Malcolm said it, the white man can do no wrong, you know. But go ahead, Pat.
Well, not that he can do no wrong. He does a lot of wrong, but he is allowed to get away with it.
Okay.
And people know it, and that is part of the problem for some of us, not all of us. Some of us have an issue with, for example, all those problems he had and the many cases, and we have this judge in Florida dismissing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see all these documents he has there.
Mm-hmm.
He is allowing other people to photograph.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking to them about them. That's treason.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's allowed to walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's allowed to run for election.
Mm-hmm.
But if you went to prison for a felony, you can't vote.
No.
But this guy,
Mm-hmm.
who is a known felon,
Yeah.
a convicted felon,
Yes.
and who is allowed to walk free and run for election, and now
The
is
president of the U.S.
going to be sitting in the White
Yeah.
House in the Oval Office come January 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
How could we expect corrections, any corrective measures taken when the felon himself is sitting there, when the traitor himself is sitting there, the spy
Yeah. Yeah.
is sitting there?
Mm-hmm.
How could you get anything done?
Well, you know, again, we have to go back and look at this country, man. You know, and when they was putting the all these things together back when George Washington and all of them putting all these things together, man. We when we look around, all of them had slaves then.
Mm-hmm.
So they was talking about this and that and other, but they was talking about things that you wasn't supposed to be doing, but they was doing it all at the same time.
But you got to understand too, when you talk about the slaves, these guys were not really interested in freeing the slaves, you know.
No.
The whole thing come down north against south.
Mm-hmm.
South had more slaves.
Oh yeah.
And if we get rid of slavery, we're going to cripple them economically.
Yes.
And therefore, they wouldn't be able to buy weapons and whatnot to fight us.
Mm-hmm. And also the cotton, you know, that's what all the cotton was being
The
raised.
cotton
in.
was down south. That's
Yeah,
money.
Yeah, and they found out that wait a minute, we can grow cotton, and cotton is the biggest thing here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you were saying, it was more slaves in
Down
the
south.
South
Yeah.
than it was blacks freed in the North.
Yeah. So the whole thing they talk about, oh, Lincoln was so great and he was there for the slaves.
Yeah.
The whole thing was about the war, the economic situation. It was not so much about letting the slaves
no.
be free.
No.
The slaves were freed only to cripple South financially.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the real
Yeah.
purpose.
And the thing is that if there's any way he could have got this settled with the South, the slave wouldn't have been free.
No.
You know.
They still would have been slaves.
Right, and
the problem, though, Ahmad, even though they were freed, in quotes, they're still slaves.
Oh yeah.
They have never been treated as equals.
Right.
Up to this day, they are not treated as equals, the
Right.
descendants of the slaves.
And the thing about it is the 15 to 16 amendment.
Amendments.
It wasn't for to free of us and to free us and do all the other things. It was for trying to hold off, trying to get the war kind of settled where they could move on.
But don't you forget this, in case anybody out there didn't remember. You, a black person, were not a whole person.
Oh no,
You were only what, 3/5?
two-thirds. Two-thirds. I mean, how? I mean,
They split you down so that they can manipulate you and
Yeah.
do what they want
Yeah.
with you.
yeah,
Even though you supposedly were free.
yeah, yeah.
And mentally, so many of today's black people are still enslaved.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And until they get that freedom, mental freedom,
Yeah.
they will always be slaves.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I was talking about the PTSD. A million of us walking around here still in that stage.
What is it going to take to get them out? I mean, you try telling them, but they're not seeming to be listening.
Well, when you go out and cast your vote for somebody like Trump, and again,
Say it.
just going by what I read, and they were saying in 220, 95% of black women voted for Biden in the 220 election. This time, only 87% voted for him. And I was telling y'all back months and months ago, 6 months ago, that Trump he doubled his amount of black men voting for him. And it was said, somebody was telling me this morning, it was 62% of Hispanic men, 62% of them voted for Trump.
Okay. Donald Trump succeeded in getting a whole lot more people voting for him.
Yeah.
The Democrats succeeded in getting a whole lot of people not voting for them. Why? Did they not make a good message?
Number one, a black woman.
Okay.
Right away.
Question. Was America saying we are not ready for a woman?
They was ready. They was already saying they wasn't ready for a black woman. Remember now, Hillary ran and she couldn't win because
She won the popular vote.
Yeah,
but this thing they have called the colleges, electoral college, that is why he ended up becoming president.
yeah, but she didn't win because number one, she was black. Okay,
So you
No.
think now Harris didn't win because she was black?
that's the number one thing, and number two was that a lot of black women didn't vote for her, and 2 times as many black men voted for Trump this time than it did the other time. And number 3 was it was a commercial I seen for the last 3 or 4 days. It was this commercial where I know you've seen it too. You had a chance to see it too. Where this lady was interviewing her, and she asked her, "Was it anything else? Was anything that she would change?" And Miss Harris said, "No, I don't think so." and that's the thing that time she said it, I said, oh, because she could have said something else. She could have said, I'm looking at things now. You know, I'm looking at things and to see what.
So you think she messed up?
Yeah, she did. She did. I mean, it's like, I'm not saying she would have got, but she would have got more votes because when she said that, it's like all the things, all these people out here crying about, and she saying ain't nothing, ain't nothing right now she would change. And the other thing is, again, I'm just for me. She was on this program. Comes on at 11:30 at night. It's what's the name? This guy. Anyway, she was on the program, and he pulled up 2 cans of beer and gave her one, and he had one. And right away, I said no, because,
Did she drink it?
she took a little sip out of it. But all of that was, it was like, wow, she shouldn't have, she just shouldn't have done that,
Could it be that too many people stayed at home, didn't go out to vote?
I mean, all of that. But, I'm not, as of now, I don't know how many. Do you know how many
No.
voted for Trump and how many voted for her? Somebody was saying
Trump had over 70 million. I think, if I understand it correctly, he had a better number than last time around.
yeah.
So,
And so,
but they also said this large number of people didn't go out to vote who were eligible to vote.
yeah, that's what I was,
Could it be that they were afraid, they were threatened? We know some of that went on.
Yeah. I just believe that, back to, I was saying, she was a black woman, and she already she'll forever be the first black woman to run for president and the first vice president. So,
All that good. Now, he is already the winner.
yes.
He is going to be in the Oval Office come January 20.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What do you expect coming from him when he gets back in office?
Okay. Number one is that the people he's picking for different things, that's a mess. And
In what way?
And you can name them off and tell about them, but and the other thing, remember now, he said before the election, these people who went to, who was at January the 6th in Washington, who tore up the White House,
The chambers.
yeah,
went to the-
yeah. He said that he was going to let them out and for a new
Pardon them?
trial. Yeah, they're going to get a new trial. And yes, he said it, So I look for all of that. And the other thing is, I guess millions of people forgot about, is that he said he didn't like the, every 4 years of voting every 4 years, and he's going to try to turn this country into a dictatorship. He's going to try to be there long as he wants to.
Okay, he may not have said it that way, that he's going to try to do that.
Oh, he said he was going.
But he did say it about this might be the last time you vote.
Yes.
So we know what that spells. But look at some other things he said then. What is he going to do? What he said are going to happen to people? Anybody, his political enemies,
Oh yeah.
will be locked up,
Mm-hmm.
prosecuted, perhaps persecuted too. And one of the big things now just being talked about is there is a list being put together of present and former military leaders that he's going to have court-martialed, imprisoned, or whatever else. In fact, he even threatened, and he said point blank that the then former chief should be shot. So you could expect murders, and you can't do him anything because he is immune.
Yeah.
Don't you forget that.
Yeah.
Those scoundrels in what you call the Supreme Court, sitting their tail parts there, making law that is not a part of their function,
No.
and that is going to have an effect on the cases against him, because you cannot take anything he said to his attorney general
No. No.
and use that against him.
No.
All that is God forbid.
And the other thing is that what a bunch of our people didn't see, man. A lot of people out here walking around didn't see it. But the man is gonna. It's possible he can appoint 2 more Supreme Court justices. If it's Clarence Thomas steps down and the other guy steps down, he can appoint 2 more people in their 40s.
All right. Okay. He could do that.
Yeah.
Clarence not willing to step down, but Trump will
But-
force him out.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying now. I'm saying that probably 2 more people. It'll be then.
It's still, 2 out, 2 in.
Well-
So there's still 9.
Well, and the woman, what you call it, appointed, Biden appointed. She said some months ago that she was going to step down.
Jackson?
Yeah,
Get that.
yeah. She said she's going to step down.
She did?
Yeah,
I didn't hear that.
yeah. I was
Why?
I was reading.
Did she give a reason?
She just said she's going to step down.
Mercy.
You know.
I told you something here before. For those who think because they were born here, they have a free ticket, nothing is going to happen to them. Right? But let me tell you something. People who had birthright citizenship, because they, if you were out, let's say, in another country,
Okay.
and you were there, had a baby there, they automatically become American citizens because of your citizenship. He is going to pull that.
Oh yeah.
He's going to quit that.
Yeah. Yes.
Which means a lot of people who are now enjoying citizenship, you're not sure if you're going to be.
Well, he already said, man, about Hispanic people, and he was saying that he's going to send all these Hispanic who
Millions.
and we talked about this. I heard a man say it sometime about 3 weeks ago on PBS. He was saying for Trump to send 10 or 11 million people back, it would take $318 billion, not million,
Trillion.
$1 trillion.
It's some set of money they talk there that we wouldn't be able to come up with.
Yeah.
Because it's way beyond even the budget that we have there for
I
that.
mean, it's astronomical. But and the other thing is that we've talked about this. A lot of the Hispanic people, man, are sitting here thinking, oh well, I'm okay because I've been here, but
I can tell you what. Let's hold off a minute on them. All right?
Mhm.
The problem is they were deluded.
Oh yeah,
They were misinformed.
Yeah.
This kind of thing. And they responded based on that. I don't hate them. I have no reason to hate them for that.
I don't hate them.
But we got to look at beyond that. Hopefully, when Trumpism actually start hitting the road here, a lot of people who thought he was the best thing since sliced bread and apple pie. Don't forget that piece. And your pumpkin pie too, since Thanksgiving coming up. All those who thought that he was the best thing since those things, they're going to soon find out that this man has no use for them other than to get a vote
That's
to
all.
put him in.
Yes.
He doesn't care whether they live or die.
No.
He says the dirtiest things about them.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the people he's placing in office for his cabinet,
Mm-hmm.
and I can go through a couple of them that we could think about, that tells you what to expect. Number one, this guy from Florida, Gates. Gates is being tagged for Attorney General. The young man doesn't, well, they told me he has a law degree. He did a little law practice. But when somebody like that gonna get up and say, if you don't do and believe what Trump says, then we're gonna this, that, we're gonna get rid of that, we're gonna get rid of this. Trump say he's gonna lock you up. So, by the way, let me just cut in this here. A member of Congress from Texas said, if Trump says we must jump 3 feet high and scratch your head, we do it. Whatever he says, we're going to do. That simply tells me we got a set of imbeciles in Congress.
Mm-hmm.
They're dumb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So much for them for that. But when you talk about Gates, he doesn't have the kind of experience,
No.
exposure, or anything like that to be Attorney General.
No.
If you get, I'm going to come back on something. Then let me go. This other person here, Christine Noem, or something like that, for Homeland Security. She has absolutely no background there.
No.
Then you got Gabbard or something like that her name is, for National Intelligence. No experience, no expertise there.
No.
Kennedy
Oh man.
for help.
Homeland Security and all of that.
No, he got Health and Human Services.
Yeah.
Mr. Vaccine.
Yeah.
He is going to be taking care of all the health issues
Yeah.
in this country.
Yes.
We lost so many hospitals because of some dum-dums we had as governors
Yeah.
in some states.
Yeah.
And you put this man,
Yeah.
you want this man to take care of that,
Yeah.
who has so many things to say that would be negative and
Yeah.
destroy your health.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he didn't believe in, people getting the shots.
No,
He didn't believe in that,
no.
And other things along that line he didn't believe in, And here he is now. He's going to be the one, I mean, but, to me, and I'll let you get back to that, but to me, it's a thing where Trump is getting the people that he know would bow to him. That's what he's doing.
That is it. That is how dictators
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Yep.
Autocrats,
Yep.
they do that.
Yep.
You have to be submissive,
Yep.
number one.
Yep.
And he has to have yes men. These people I mentioned, they don't have what it takes
No.
to be in those offices.
No.
All right, Gates. He resigned on the 13th from his seat in the House.
Mm-hmm.
Why? The report from the committee was supposed to be handed in Friday gone or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, in order to prevent them saying anything, he resigned.
Yeah.
Because if he resigns, technically that's
Right.
done.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's not done. You are going to be investigated before you're voted in. They're going to have to sit down on the nomination. They want all the information. Republicans in the Senate, along with Democrats, are saying, we want everything. So it's not an easy road over. Then, something you got to understand, Ahmad. birds of a feather flock together.
Sure do. Yep.
How are they birds alike? Trump, convicted. One of his convictions, sexual misconduct. And the judge said it's rape. Gates, he has been accused of and was under investigation for sexual conduct with a minor.
Yep.
That he was taking other places and trafficking her.
Yeah.
She testified to that under oath. His friend, who was involved with him, testified the whole story. He is in prison, but Gates is sitting out there.
Yeah.
No charges have been brought against him yet. Why? Why?
Well, you know, for me, man, like I said, the whole thing is he's getting these people who has to bow down to him, and that's what it's going to simply be. You know, all these people that he's grabbing, the people who don't know anything, don't know what to say and everything, but they know that he's got their back. You know.
And I'm going to tell you, Ahmad, for all these people who supposed to have some kind of sense, and letting Donald Trump, that non-compos mentis, letting him run roughshod over them. The man is an imbecile.
Well, you know, I mean, it's just really, it's really, it don't surprise me that the U.S. will now have they will January have a president who's really a felon, and he's going to be a president of the U.S.
Convicted felon.
Yes.
34 convictions.
Yes.
Plus other cases to
Yeah.
come.
And-
And by all sensibility and any kind of legality, Donald Trump should have been in prison long ago.
Yeah. So
Because he's a traitor.
yes.
They just recently had a young man in the military with some documents and things, and he got either 14 or 16 years.
Yeah.
Donald Trump had boxes
Yeah.
and claimed they are his. No, he didn't even say, I didn't have them, I don't know anything about them. They are mine.
Yeah. Yes.
And they sit down there and let him get away with that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. This country is worse by far
Oh, yeah.
than any third world country.
I've already-
They claim, look, when they get there talking about, oh, third world country. Yeah, man, this is the kind of thing you say would come out of third world.
Yeah.
But no, this is now with that
Yeah.
imbecile,
Yeah. Yeah.
that non-compos mentis,
Yeah. And-
who is going to be president, is a fifth world country,
Yeah.
not a third.
Yeah, and the thing about it, we've been sending people all around the different places to watch the elections, and here in this country, look what we got in this country. All right, we got to close this down, but man, you know, we could go on, and hopefully we can talk more about this on the next show.
All right.
All right, my name is Ahmad Shakaraki, and we catch you down the next block for more street talk. Peace.
Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.